that. First of all, let's just start that right there. All right, recently, the Brat was having an interview. I don't know what platform she was on. You guys know the Brat she's LGBTQ. I don't know if she's bisexual, what have you, but the Brat does have a wife. And she has a child now with the wife, all right? Artificial insemination, what have you, know how that goes with those relationships. But nonetheless, back in the day, the Brat and Alan Iverson were an item. They were an item, all right? Now, with that being said, the Brat spoke about her relationship with Allen Iverson and the way she treated Allen Iverson. And some of this is interesting, to say the least, all right? She spoke about jacking off Allen Iverson every morning. Every morning she said she jacked Allen Iverson off. She said she ironed his clothes, all right? She said her grandparents used to love Allen Iverson, that part. There's a little bit more about the situation. But nonetheless, let's just dwell on that. Let's just unpack that. All right. Are you guys familiar with that song that the Brat had in the 90s, In Love With You? Let me see. What was the name of the song? Where's my phone at? It's a particular song that she had back in the days that she was dressed like a woman. And if you guys didn't know, the Brat is thick as hell, all right? The Brat was sexy back in the days. Now, this is the thing. A lot of dykes are actually sexy, all right? It's their aggressive nature that kind of turns you off. But nonetheless, there's some dykes that are actually pretty. And the Brat is one of them. Now, in that video, in the 90s, the Brat had a song, In Love With You. She had Roy Jones playing as her love mate, the guy of her dreams, all right? He was he played the role in the video. Now, if you've seen how the Brat looked amazing in that video, all right? The Brat is thick all around. The Brat is sexy. Now, the Brat is the dyke that I consider the dyke that got away. She's the dyke that got away. You guys make sure you come in the building. Make sure you guys share this podcast. Do me a favor. This is episode number 60. Make sure you guys are sharing this podcast. Make sure you guys are leaving a comment in the comment section. We call that putting a fingerprint. I don't care how many people in the building. If we got 3 people, if we got 4 people, if we got 1,000 people, I need you guys, as soon as you come in the building, make sure you guys are hitting that comment section. Make sure you guys are sharing this on Facebook. We're on 3 different platforms. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, and we also on YouTube, obviously. So you guys should be sharing this with your flock. I tell you all the time, every shepherd has his own flock. You guys have people that admire you. Go ahead and share this with your followers. Share this with your family. Share this with your loved ones, all right? Share this on your page. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. I don't care how many people in the building. We just need people to hit the like button. That's how YouTube can recommend this content. You guys know how the routine go. I'm going to get you acclimated. I got you. All right. Right now, we're speaking about the Brat. So the Brat recently spoke about how her relationship with Allen Iverson at one point. You guys know the Brat used to date men. All right. At one point, the Brat was bisexual. She used to date men, and she was dating Mr. Allen Iverson, legendary 76ers players, Philadelphia 76ers players, Allen Iverson, all right, which is vice president of Reebok right now, Reebok basketball. Shout out to Ash in the building. Ashley Hudson in the building. I like the way you just left your comment in the comment section. Now, Ashley, do me a favor. Go ahead and share this for me too. All right. We're speaking about the Brat. The Brat used to date Allen Iverson. And you guys, I like to say the Brat is the dyke that got away. Now, you know, when you look at dykes, a lot of dykes are pretty and some dykes have fat asses. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to keep it 1,000 with you. It's the aggressive nature of a dyke, all right? We could speak about this for days. I've actually had the opportunity to actually have sex with a dyke. At one point, having sex with a dyke was a goal of mine, a checklist. I used to think that you could turn them back into liking men. But unbeknownst to me, that was false. I was not able to turn her back into liking men, right? And the experience, I'm not gonna lie, it was not a pleasure to even sleep with the dyke. They're not comfortable in their femininity. Now, maybe that was that one experience. So I'm just gonna chalk it up to that one experience. But sleeping with one dyke, I would never sleep with a dyke again. It's gonna take some convincing. They're aggressive. They don't like to be touched in a certain way. Respectfully, all right? But now, the Brat, she's different. Contrary to what I experienced, the Brat was once with Allen Iverson. And she spoke about how she used to iron his clothes. She used to prepare his food for him. She said her grandparents used to love Allen. They said she used to love Iverson. Also, she said that she used to jerk Allen Iverson off every morning. This is the Brat. Now, listen, we as men, I'm not comfortable with jerking off. I try not to indulge in masturbation and stuff like that. But if it's a woman doing it, there's no problem with that, all right? So I can imagine the Brat doing this every single morning. The Brat jerking off Allen Iverson every single morning. Now, you guys, I told you, the Brat had a video back in the days. Back in the days, she had a video called Something About You, In Love With You, Something About You. And she's on the beach. Forgive me because I don't have the actual, the name of the song, right? I don't have my phone on me neither. But once again, the Brat, at one point, she was on the beach. And if you see the Brat on the beach, she's sitting on the beach chair, right? This is the video. I'm going to paint the picture. She's on the beach. She probably was in Miami at the time. She has Roy Jones playing her love interest in the video. Mr. Roy Jones. You remember at one point, Roy Jones was popping at one point. That was her love interest, okay? Now, in that video, the Brat was looking sexy, sitting on the beach chair. I'm going to keep it 1,000 with you. You got to clap it up for the Brat. She's thick and she's fine. No lie. Hold up. Let me get applause for the Brat. I need a applause for. Let's applaud the Brat and how sexy she is just for being a dyke. Well, back in the days, maybe not currently. I remember beauty's in the eye of the beholder. But at one point, the Brat was very, very, very sexy. Shout out to Ash. You heard? At one point, the Brat was very sexy, okay? So she's in the lawn chair. You see how thick the Brat was. The Brat was fine as fuck. Keep in mind, the Brat's sister is Lisa Ray. All right, from what is that? Players Club. You remember that classic movie? I think that was the Ice Cube movie. I'm not sure. Players Club. But her sister fine as fuck. Obviously, Lisa Ray's fine. But apparently, that's her sister. All right, that's her actual sister. And the Brat is fine also. Now, currently, the Brat probably gained a little weight, so she's a little bit less desirable. But the Brat was fine as fuck. What you said now? Is it what do you like with Tyrese? What do you? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. What's up with Holy? Shout out to Holy Nigel Bill. Shout out to everybody that's coming in the building. You guys, make sure as soon as you come to the building, hit that comment section. We in here together. You already know we hit 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, so this is a celebration for us. That part. Shout out to Holly Nigel. All right, hold up. Let me pull this up. Bada bing. That part. I see you, ladies. And make sure, ladies, you guys are sharing this podcast for me. Go ahead and share. I don't care how many people's in the building. We can have 2 or 3 people. We can have 1,000 people. I need you guys to share this. Either way, we're growing, no matter what. All right, so I'm not sure, actually, if that's the actual song, but it was something in love with you, something in love with you, something with you, CHU. Check it out on YouTube. But nonetheless, the Brat was on that lawn chair and the way she was dressed. First of all, the Brat is pretty. The Brat is very cute. You got to give it up to her. There's a lot of dykes that are actually pretty. And there's some dykes that got fat asses. They're just hiding it in all that heavy, baggy clothes, right? Some dykes can't even hide the fat ass because guess what? Their ass is so fat that it's coming out of the jeans. No matter how baggy the jeans, you can see that ass poking out the back. So shout out to the sexy dykes. You know what I mean? And the Brat is one of them. And I call the Brat the dyke that got away. The girl that got away, she's the dyke that got away. The Brat is fine as fuck, though. You got to give it to her. That's why Alan Iverson used to be with her. And like she said, she used to cook for the man. So apparently the Brat knows how to be a femme. She knows how to be a femme. The Brat knows how to cook for a nigga. The Brat knows how to iron clothes. And the Brat knows how to jack a nigga off. That part. No disrespect, ladies. But guess what? The Brat was with that. So shout out to the Brat, all right? And she spoke about this in a recent interview, and I just found that very, very interesting. And like I said, the Brat is the dyke that got away. The Brat is always dropping her pants. If you see her and when she's on stage, she just was recently on stage with JD and all of them, with the Franchise Boys. And what did the Brat do? She instantly dropped her pants to the floor. What is that about? If the Brat is a dyke, why is she dropping her pants to the floor? I don't know what type of message that she's trying to send. I think the Brat sometimes still wants to be with a man. I think a little piece of the Brat could still be with a man, to be honest with you, right? And like I told you, I've been with a dyke before, but it wasn't a pleasurable experience. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be, all right? That she wasn't feminine, you know what I mean? But I thought I could turn the dyke back into straight, heterosexual. But the dyke is actually, she was very... She wasn't comfortable with even being touched a certain way. This is a serious conversation because I don't know how some men even lay down with certain dykes Because what I thought, I had a big misconception about dykes. I thought dykes is just in their head and they're still feminine and you could turn them back. Au contraire, mon frère. All right. When I was actually slept with a dyke, and she had a masculine element to her, right? And even in the bedroom, she couldn't shake that. Now let me tell you something, and I'm gonna end off with this. Dykes still want to be considered pretty. When I was laying down with this dyke, I had sex with this dyke. She came and checked me like 3 o'clock in the morning. She came looking for it. She came looking for the D. Facts though. All right. I used to always play and flirt with this dyke because she used to always, when she walked by, she had a twitch to her. You see, women are conscious of how they look from behind. A lot of women are conscious the way you observe them from behind. So even dykes will still want to be perceived as pretty. Even dykes are concerned about how a man looks at them. Some dykes, I'm not going to say all. I'm not going to stereotype all, but some dykes still have that feminine quality in them. No matter if their appearance looks to be aggressive, no matter if they appear to be manly, some dykes still have that feminine element to them. And she had that. Because the dyke used to walk by me and she used to twitch her ass. She used to make her ass move a certain way. She wasn't comfortable with walking like a pool butt. She wasn't comfortable with being seen a certain way. What I'm trying to tell you is she had a certain way she swayed her hips. A dyke is not supposed to sway your hips because you're not trying to attract the man. So I noticed that. That was an indication that she still had some femininity to her. She's still concerned about how a man perceives her. And if you're concerned about how a man perceives you, that means that you still want to be with men. All right? Shout out to that dyke out there. She knows who she is. She came and checked me like 3 in the morning. And I did what a man was supposed to do. But I used to think that you could turn a dyke back to heterosexual. Contrary to what I thought, that was not the case. All right? You see the Brat right now, and the Brat kind of validates that because the Brat is currently with a woman. Even though the Brat was with Alan Iverson, she's currently with a woman. And the Brat said her relationship with Alan Iverson just eventually it fizzled out. You know what I mean? I don't know what prompted them to stop, but it just eventually fizzled out. But she said her grandmama and her grandparents and aunties and them, they used to love Alan Iverson. All right? So you guys, the Brat and Alan Iverson were once a couple. They were once an item. All right? Now, shout out to Planet in the building. That's my partner in crime. I see you, Planet. Bada bing, bada bang. Shout out to the Brat, the one that got away. That part, the Brat is the one that got away. The Brat is the dyke that got away. The Brat is pretty as fuck, bro. She's thick as fuck. I told you, look at that video. She's laid back in that lawn chair at the beach. You see the Brat at the beach. She got her makeup on. She's pretty, sexy. She's thick. The Brat put on a little bit of weight as of recently, but that's due to old age. That's natural. Everybody should be hitting that like button as soon as you come in the building, all right? Don't be a ninja watcher. Make sure you guys are wiping your feet on the rug. That's just showing respect to the house of the L.O.T.S approved. This is our house. We share this. We did this. We reached 2,000 subscribers. We did this together. So I need you guys to hit that like button for me, all right? I need you guys to hit that like button. I need you guys to share this podcast for me. This is episode number 60. Shout out to Planet, goddammit, my partner in crime. That part. All right, y'all. Now moving right along. Listen, man. Shout out to the Brat once more. Shout out to Alan Iverson too. Now, listen, guys. We got to clap it up for 50 Cent. And y'all going to see what I'm talking about. 50 Cent just reached diamond for In the Club. Let's clap it up for 50. Hold up.